Hello folks, welcome to Ontario in a beautiful mid-March late winter's morning. And just as I said that, I heard chickadee, there it is again, and a red-winged blackbird. I've seen robins and red-winged blackbirds already, and I want to say to them, guys, you're coming north just a little bit too soon. Give it another 2 or 3 weeks anyways. Well, today folks, we're going to do a little work on Betsy the sawmill. I built Betsy over 20 years ago, and it's sawn a lot of lumber for us and for neighbors and friends, and we haven't had to do a lot of work on it. Well, last fall I noticed I had a broken eye on this leaf spring here, and I'm going to do a repair that I'm sure someone's going to send me a comment and say, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that. And they're right, but I'm going to weld it anyways, because the sawmill doesn't go anywhere, and when it does, we're towing it behind our tractor. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bevel the edges on this spring and on the broken part of the eye so I get some good penetration to the wood. So let's jack up that axle and lift those two pieces together. I'm going to tack it up with 6011. If I had some 6010, I'd rather use that, but I'm using the 60 series rod to give me some good root penetration. And then I'll cap it all off with 7018. There we go. I'm going to clean them up with a grinder and we'll be ready to weld. I'm changing shields. This one has 1.5 power cheaters in it, a friend gave me. Works great in all sorts of positions, but down there with my bifocal lenses and 1.5 cheaters, it was a little hard to see. I'm going to go back to old Betsy for now. Just like butter. Next on the list of repairs, we're going to look after these U-bolts and these leaf springs. 20-some years ago when I built the sawmill, I put a couple of spacers in oak, temporarily. Well, as you can see on that side over there, that temporary piece of oak is still in there and it's a little soft. I've removed what was left on this side and I'm going to shorten up the U-bolts. I have 4 U-bolts here that I can change. And hopefully that'll solve our problem. I'm going to grab my impact gun and air hose, and actually the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up this axle and put some tension on those springs. I'm going to try and get this side done in half an hour. That's how much time I have till supper time. Well folks, we've made it with 3 minutes to spare. I'm going to quickly tidy up, put things away, and head in the house for supper. Hello folks. Well, it's the next morning and it's another beautiful day here in Ontario. I've heard crows, red-winged blackbirds, cardinals, chickadees, robins, and of course Mr. Raven flew over to pay us a visit this morning. Well, today folks, I've got a couple of hours outside that I can enjoy before I have to tend to some family duties. Not that I won't enjoy them as well. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? This is the log dog. and this is the cant or the square dog. The shaft that they're mounted on is a piece of 1-inch cold roll steel. And when I put them in place, I put a couple of brackets so that I could actually change the position of them. But I wasn't thinking that I'd ever be sawing something under 4 foot or 5 foot long. So today, I'm going to make another couple of brackets. I'm going to mount them in here, and that'll allow us to saw something as short as, realistically, 3 feet. I'm going to go find some material now and see what we can put together. Well, we're all set. Found a piece of 1-inch pipe and a piece of 1/8 flat bar. I'm going to tack this flat bar on this piece of 3/4 inch pipe that's in the vise. I'll warm it up with a torch and bend it round. That'll be one receiver. And then I'm going to nip a 1/2 inch slice off this pipe for the other. Before I get to work, I want to tell you that I just had another neighbor drop by and say hello. It is so good to have good friends and good neighbors. And yesterday I ended up with 2 neighbors dropping by for a visit. And you know, you could say that, wow, that really cuts into your productive time. You know what? If I can't make time for my friends and my neighbors, I think my priorities need a bit of a realignment. I am blessed with some great friends. Now that we've got our 2 parts made, the next step is to lay out where we're going to put them. And first, we've got to get rid of that old paint that's on there if we're going to weld to it. Good morning, folks, and welcome to Ontario on another beautiful spring-like late winter's morning. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. Just listen to the birds. Chickadees, red-winged blackbirds, blue jays, crow. And a few minutes ago, I heard the first killdeer of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, isn't it? How could anybody not smile on a day like today? Well, today, folks, we're going to mount the receivers on here. So I'm going to just lay them out with a square, clamp them in place, tack them in place, measure them again, measure twice and weld once. And then we'll be able to give it a trial run. I think we're good. I'll go turn Betsy the welder on and we'll tack it in place. I'm just going to repeat the process with the receiver on the other side. And then I'm going to wire brush them both off and give them a coat of primer to try and slow down a little bit of the rust and corrosion. Listen to that cardinal. Isn't that amazing? Well, folks, that old saying about the weather in March is proving itself true once again. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It's sure to change. And it's changed. As you can no doubt see, it's snowing. The wind's picking up, and the forecast is actually for a pretty stiff breeze this evening and tonight, and a little bit of snow. Oh well, spring will be here soon. Let's put the shaft in, and I'll show you how these dogs line up. There we go. We can easily dog any log now that can fit onto those stops. And if it only fits onto one, I can put in a cheater board across here and I can saw something really short now. Well folks, I've had a lot of fun working on old Betsy the sawmill here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you again on Out of the House with Paul.